Good morning and welcome. My name is Chris Hooper, Vice President of Hooper Welding Enterprises. I'm honored to serve as your Master of Ceremonies for this morning's important announcement. So on behalf of our company and our family, it's a privilege to welcome our distinguished government officials, industry partners, and community leaders here today. Hooper Welding was founded in 1952 by my grandfather, Arthur Hooper. What began as a smaller operation in Toronto has grown into a recognized global leader in ASME pressure vessel equipment, custom steel fabrication, proudly servicing nuclear, refining, petrochemical, and the power generation industries. Much of this growth is owed to the vision and leadership of my father, Ross Hooper, who guided the company through decades of expansion. Today, Hooper Welding continues as a family business, with myself, my brother Colin, my sister Leanne, all committed to carrying forward that tradition. But beyond family, our true foundation has been our team of dedicated employees, many that have been with us for decades. Their loyalty, expertise, and craftsmanship are the backbone of our success. We take pride in being not just an employer, but a larger part of the Hamilton community, built on hard work and shared values. It's often said that the strength of Hamilton is steel, and that remains true today. A thriving industrial sector is essential to Canada's economic future. Our ability to grow, compete, depends not only on the commitment of companies like ours, but also strong partnerships with government. Continued support for innovation, infrastructure, workforce development will ensure that our region and our country remains at the forefront of advanced manufacturing. We're proud to stand here today as a testament to what a Canadian industry can achieve, and we look forward to working closely with government and partners to ensure that our sector continues to grow and thrive for generations to come. It's now my great pleasure to introduce John-Paul Danko, Member of Parliament for Hamilton West, Ancaster, Dundas, to share a few words.
Thank you so much, Chris, for the warm welcome, for hosting us today at Hooper Welding Enterprises Limited right here in Hamilton. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge that the city of Hamilton is situated upon the traditional territories of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, and Haudenosaunee and Mississaugas, and that this land is covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant. As the Member of Parliament for Hamilton West, Ancaster, Dundas, a lifelong Hamilton resident and a structural engineer, it's a real privilege for me to be here this morning with a company that I think reflects the hard work and innovation of Hamilton manufacturers and especially workers in the skilled trades. And just earlier, we did have the privilege of meeting some of the workers here at Hooper Welding, hearing their stories and really appreciating the hard work that they contribute to the community with good paying jobs supporting Hamilton families. Hamilton has a long history as a center of industry and manufacturing in Canada. And as was mentioned, Hooper Welding has long played a vital role in our economy, producing pressure vessels and custom steel fabrication for key industries like oil and gas and nuclear. And of course, we're here on port lands in the Hamilton-Oshawa Port, the busiest freshwater port in Canada. And I see it's great to have Ian Hamilton and Larissa Fenn join us here from the port. Because we know that industries like Hooper Welding are operating in a very rapidly changing environment. The illegal and unjustified U.S. tariffs on Canadian steel and steel products, rising costs, and shifting global economic conditions are creating real pressure across sectors, but especially in the steel industry, the industrial sectors, and the manufacturing industries here in Hamilton. And these challenges are being felt deeply, impacting workers and families here in Hamilton and across the country. So our government is committed to taking action. This is not a partisan thing. This is about supporting businesses supporting workers, and supporting families. Canadian businesses, Canadian workers through this period of uncertainty. We're focused on strengthening Canada's industrial capacity, investing to protect Canadian jobs, and ensuring that communities have the support that they need to thrive. So with that, I am very pleased to welcome the Honorable Evan Solomon, Canada's Minister of Artificial Intelligence and Digital Innovation, and of course the Minister responsible for the Federal Economic Development Agency for Southern Ontario. And Minister Solomon is here in Hamilton to share what I think is some very important and exciting news. Minister Solomon.
Thanks, John-Paul. That's great. Before I start, do me a favor. One of the things about what we're going to talk about today is how we're working together. And one thing I want to be clear is politicians aren't standing in front of anyone, they're standing with people. So if I can ask all the workers in the team to just come right up, not in the background, just come on up. This is important. These things matter. Landon, get folks up. I first of all, just crowd in there, that's good. First of all, I just want to say one thing about John-Paul, who not only is an MP, we joined in the same class, but he's a counselor for Ward 8 here a long time. When you join a team, you need to be with people who are fighters. And this new government is a government that wants to fight, but get results together. And there's nobody who's got a louder voice, who knows this area better, who puts his back into it, like John-Paul. I keep wanting to call him JP, but it's John-Paul. And this is the kind of leadership that I feel very lucky to see in action. I feel very lucky that he's a colleague. I know a lot of folks in Hamilton. Actually, my mom's partner's here in Hamilton, so she's probably like 10 minutes away right now. But this is an area that this kind of leadership really matters, someone who has the experience. It's in his bones here. So I want to thank you for welcoming me, and I know your leadership has been so important over the years and will continue to be. So first of all, I want to thank John-Paul, my colleague. Now I want to get to Hooper Welding. This is it. Like when you think about Canada, you think about someone who in 1952 starts a factory, works his back off. My grandfather worked in a factory and died at the age of 53 when my dad was 12. And I know, Ross, you had to take over this factory when your dad passed at a young age. And your mom and you put your back into it and had to keep this going. And that's not easy when you're young. And I started a business and ran one for 10 years. And when you're running a business and your family's on the line and your friends are with you, and those are hard years. And I just want to say, that's a story to tell, that you grew up and then you had to take this over and you and your mom had to carry this and while you were building your own family. So first of all, I want to salute you and thank you because that matters. You've been through it. And let's give him a hand for that because that matters. And then he has 3 kids and you heard Chris and Colin and I guess your daughter Leanne's not here, but then they come and they work in the business. And I was asking Chris and Colin, and they said like they were there. They're grinding, they're welding. This is a team of workers, but this is part of the family, the Hooper family, because they've all done the job. And they know it. And so Colin, I really appreciate what you've done, and Chris. And now Colin's got a son, Braden, that's going to be working in the family. And Chris's family, Paige, and I met Mary and Eden. I think they're somewhere. Where are they? There they are. So when we talk about building Canada strong, it's families that do it. And that's why I wanted to be together, because the last piece of that puzzle is when you build a family business, the people who work here are part of that family. They work here for years, whether they've worked here for 2 years, like some of the folks here that we've met, or they've worked here for 20 years, or 30 years, I think there's some of you. It matters. So I just want to thank you. I know that this is a tough time. We're not going to sugarcoat it. These are some rough moments. But this is the kind of foundation that survives for generations. And our job, and what we want to talk about today, is how to make sure that Hooper Welding is here for generations to come. And other companies in this region and in our province are going to bust their backs to make sure that we have generations of healthy companies building incredibly valuable projects for the future. So that's what we're talking about. So it is great for me to be here. not just as the Minister of AI and Digital Innovation, but as the Minister for Federal Development for Southern Ontario, because they're connected. The things that are being built in the room behind us are very, very innovative. And you're going to see them on the energy systems that we need to power our innovative future. There's going to be equipment here that will be used for nuclear power, because this is the kind of place, this is what innovation looks like. As a manufacturer of pressure vessels and custom steel fabrications for the oil, gas, and nuclear sectors, the work at Hooper is integral to our entire innovation and manufacturing ecosystem, not just here in the Hammer, but across the whole country. In the words of Arthur Hooper, the founder of the company, and I love this, I think we should adopt this in our country, if it can be shipped, we can build it. So I just think that's an incredibly inspiring motto. Those words describe this company, but they describe the spirit of Canadian manufacturing. The ability to take on any challenge, the ability to build what the world needs, to ship it to every corner of the globe. And we've got the port here, from this port, which is a hub. The spirit is alive here at Hooper Welding, and it represents the spirit of this country that we need to fight for and preserve. Our country and our businesses and our communities and our families are facing a challenge. We've faced them before, but this is new, it's unique, and we all appreciate how serious it is. Notre pays et notre entreprise sont confrontés à un paysage économique en mutation. So we got to adjust. We got to figure out this new reality. That means we've got to, as the Prime Minister, Mark Carney, likes to say, we've got to concentrate on trade and new trading partners. We've got to invest in our businesses that work. And we've got to build and secure partnerships to preserve our sovereignty. It means striking trade deals that are robust. The Prime Minister is in Germany today, striking new deals to do just that. It means building new partnerships and new investments, because when one company benefits, we all benefit. The Government of Canada is focused and laser focused on investing in Canadian workers and companies and protecting our ability to build for the future, to reinforce the competitiveness of our economy and our businesses, and to build the strongest economy in the G7. To address the challenges in these strategic sectors, and we know what they are: agriculture to autos, steel, aluminum. The Canadian government will soon announce more comprehensive industrial strategies to protect Canadian jobs, boost our competitiveness, buy more Canadian goods, and diversify our exports. We're focused on building on our strengths and building Canada strong. In a sense, we are about to enter a new age of industrial leadership. So we've got this incredible new innovative tool, AI, to help us, but it's the new age of entrepreneurship and a new age of industrial leadership. And that starts with bold nation-building projects that will connect our regions and transform how our economy works. And you will see those projects getting rolled out soon. Through our new defense industrial strategy, this is really important. $9 billion this year extra, so Canada meets its 2% goal at NATO this year. This defense industrial strategy is vital. We're catalyzing investment. We're building our own industrial capacity, our sovereign capacity, just like at Hooper Welding, and creating higher paying careers across the country. And we're absolutely going to make sure that we strengthen our key sectors like steel and auto and agriculture that are being very hard hit by these trade disruptions that John-Paul talked about. So, in short, Canada's going to move from reliance to resilience. We're building on our strength at home, we are opening new markets abroad, and we're creating new opportunities for Canadian workers and businesses. And I know we're going to get there because I know Hooper Welding is an example of the business owners and the team here leading the way. Hard work, innovative work, high quality work, best in the world, best in class, bringing real solutions. That's the spirit that built this country, and that's the spirit that will continue to do it. So let me get to today. We are in a crisis, so I'm pleased to announce that today we are beginning something called the Regional Tariff Response Initiative. It is now open for Southern Ontario. Aujourd'hui, il me fait plaisir d'annoncer l'initiative régionale de réponse tarifaire est maintenant lancée dans le sud de l'Ontario. This is a 3-year program. It's a $450 million national initiative that will support businesses and organizations to help businesses grow, adapt, and lead in the changing economy. Part of that $450 million, almost $160 million, will be here in Southern Ontario. This includes investing in digital tools and automation to boost productivity, to enhance competitiveness, to strengthen our domestic supply chain, to enhance internal trade and market diversification, and enable greater resiliency among Canadian businesses. So our steel producers, as you know, and our fabricators are the best in the world. Southern Ontario is home to a significant share of them. And I just want to tell you, as part of that national program of $450 million, $150 million of that will be targeted nationally just for the steel industry. Through this program, and here's the government acronym, RTRI, priority is going to be given to businesses in the steel sector and the automotive sector, which is the heart of the economy in Ontario and in Canada, but any company will be eligible if they've had over 25% losses due to the tariff situation. With today's launch, we're demonstrating our commitment to reinforcing Canada's industrial strength, defending good jobs across the country, and right here at the heart of it, in Southern Ontario. Canada's future is going to be forged by the businesses like Hooper Welding that we rely on, businesses that have built boldly, innovated relentlessly, and led the way forward and continue to do so. We are focused on building Canada strong, and in this crisis, we have no problem and full confidence that these businesses are going to be here for generations to come, and many others will. And we are investing in these businesses because we know that they will be here in the future. So I encourage businesses right now, if you're a business in Southern Ontario, to please go to the FedDev Ontario website and get the full details of how to apply and how to access support and get investment from RTRI. Together, we will build Canada strong. Together, we are going to get through this period, and we will be stronger, and we will have generations of success in our manufacturing and our industries right here in Southern Ontario. Thank you very much. Merci. I'm happy to take questions. Thank you. So I think Peter's going to moderate.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do one question, one follow-up.
Hi, Tessa Bennett, CHCH News. So what is the timeline like for businesses that apply for this kind of support before they actually receive the funding?
So it depends on what they're asking for, obviously. The application are just open. The goal is to get it out the door very quickly. The good news is federal development, FedDev Ontario has a long history of working with a lot of these businesses, so we know there are criteria that businesses have to meet. For example, they have to show that they've had, for example, 25% losses. They have to have been viable businesses 2 years before the crisis. So there's a few criteria that are all there in detail. The goal here is to expedite it very, very quickly. Again, some of these are in the true spirit of federal development and our agencies, the regional development agencies. Some of them are repayable contributions, so zero interest loans that are repayable contributions, which is very normal. Some of them are grants. Nonprofits can also apply as well, so it's not just companies. We want to support communities that have been hit hard by tariffs.
And how is the government communicating with businesses here in Hamilton, specifically the steel capital of Canada, to make sure that initiatives like this are tailored to support Hamiltonians to get them through this trade dispute?
Well, three things, let me say. We launched it here. And we launched it here for a reason, because this is the heart of it. Southern Ontario works together, but Hamilton has played an historic role in driving our economy and our manufacturing, specifically in the steel sector and other sectors, and it will continue to do so in the future. Two, we've got great leaders like John-Paul here and others who are here in the region. Three, the region, our team at FedDev Ontario has invested in many companies here. And our partners. So we have a lot of experience on the ground here. So working with the FedDev team to communicate to not just the businesses that already know, but to kind of make sure that companies across the spectrum, not just here in Hamilton and the region, but we were in Windsor last week, meeting the auto sector and many other businesses there to make sure that all businesses in Southern Ontario recognize that this new part of our FedDev funding, so this is on top of what we already give and invest in, this $160 million is very targeted, gets out the door quickly, and as you say, we need businesses to know about it so we can help facilitate these investments.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
Okay. Well, first of all, I just want to, again, let me just thank the Hooper family. Incredibly impressive. The one guy I didn't mention, can I mention, which that's on me, is Landon, who, come on, this is, so apparently, Chris told me, when they were building this facility in 2007, 2006, he basically had to live here to build this, and he's still here. But I just want to thank you because we're probably standing in a place safely with workers because of the work you've done. So I just want to thank you. Every single person here has contributed. So I really appreciate you being here as well. And thank all of you for being here. Thank you.